Hey y'all, so I'm just checking in. I know I haven't been posting as much lately. I have been going through my own like huge, I mentioned before, like death rebirth process. So what I've been doing is creating some things in the background or behind the scenes. So I'm currently working on a class on Udemy, and I already have the Patreon started. So the Patreon is active. There are discount codes within each tier. So if you decide to sign up for Patreon, there's a code within each post. The reason why I'm here though is to do a message of encouragement. Today has been a roller coaster, and I actually had a conversation with someone, and it instantly took me back to a dream that I had a week ago. Like I went to the like the conversation connected to something else, and I went to my dream journal. Remember, I talked about how important it is to write those dreams down. You may not feel like you're intuitive or gifted, but you are. You get messages, you get downloads. We all have the ability. It's about quieting the mind. It's about trying not to sleep with your phone, waking up, checking your phone, right? As soon as you wake up, whatever you remember, just write it down. Don't stress about it. And sometimes the divine will even help you. You'll have flashes when you thought you forgot. It's just being still for a minute, right? So anyway, I went to my dream journal, and I looked at the date, and I was like, what actual day is this? Because I date mine. I don't do like the day of the week. I just date it. And I went and looked at the calendar, and I was like, oh my gosh, like a week ago, I literally had a dream about this conversation or about this. And so the dream was actually a warning. But luckily, because I've been being more still and more so focused on the business or the work that I want to do, right? I didn't fall for a few what could have been like traps. Even in a conversation, like I was like, nah, this is the standard. This is what I'm expecting. And I almost got caught slipping, but then I got that flash of that dream. They said something. So anyway, write your dreams down. So for the words of encouragement, I'm only doing the WOW offering. This video is going on Instagram, the short version, and then the long one is going on YouTube. So the reason why I'm saying that is because on the YouTube. So if you subscribe, if you subscribe to the YouTube, you'll catch this video, and there will be a discount code that I will be saying later on in the YouTube video. I'm not going to type it anywhere. I'm not going to post it anywhere. You have to sit through the video. So obviously, if you sit through the video, you can still get the discount code and not subscribe. But I'm really hoping that you will like it, that you'll share it, and that you'll subscribe. So this one is for Insta. And then this is again just some encouragement. Well, Insta and TikTok. TikTok may not let me now because it's over 3 minutes. Gratitude. So that is a big part of how I am trying to like survive not only retrograde, but this death rebirth, my process. If you look at a lot of the readers, they talk about Aquarius. This is definitely a big like releasing season for us just in general. Perfectionism. Create your content. Don't worry about stuff being perfect. Make that product. Start that business. Make those changes. Cut people off. Don't feel like you have to. You can't attract. Like the divine will replace whatever you let go of when you're letting go of stuff that isn't good for you. And so you don't have to be perfect for your ideal situation, whatever that looks like. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be a place, right? When you let stuff go, the divine will help you as long as it's good for you, right? Sometimes they'll test you. I told you about my dream. Anyway, not this dream. Positivity. Sometimes it can be really hard when you are in the midst of like a huge change in your life, not even more so spiritually focused, when you are trying to get back on track with your diet or your sleep schedule or therapy or just spending time with family and friends, whatever changes that you're trying to make for you. Sometimes you will meet resistance, right? Like old self will check in, or people who can only see the dysfunction in you, or that part of you, and they can't see you at your growth, or they can't see you as you grow, right? um, they'll pop up and be like, you just want to just go ahead and get this piece with me, right? Whatever that looks like. And so I just wanted to check in with you, encourage you, and I will read these. I usually don't. So, for gratitude, find just one thing that you feel grateful for right now and let that graffiti pour through the body. It's a healing balm, like the warmth of the sun. Perfectionism. Permission to make mistakes is so freeing. It's the root of creativity and change. Allow me, divine, to make as many mistakes as I need. Free me from the prison of perfectionism. That's hard, and that's something that I have to work through too sometimes. Positivity. If you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. Please, dear God, let me always feel gratitude for something, even a tiny thing, in even the hardest situations. So those are 3 things to kind of carry you through this evening into tomorrow. Hopefully, you can take these and bring them into your week next week. You are amazing. Again, on YouTube, you will have the discount code through the rest of the video. I'll do the rest of the reading. So this was just a short version. I'm not sure if it's going to post because it's at 6 minutes. I'm going to try. If not, then I'll find another way to sneak it in. Enjoy your night. Okay, hey. So now I'm picking back up for my YouTube peeps. So gratitude, perfectionism, and positivity is what came out. And what I want to go ahead and do is pull Lightworker and Moonly too, and just see how they all connect. Lightworker, Spirit said, and then I saw the Moonly, and honestly, Moonly was my favorite deck for like 100 gazillion years. I'm sorry, Moonology. I'm sorry, y'all. There's an app called Moonly, which I like, and I keep mixing them up. But anyway, see that perfectionist could have just said, sorry, y'all, correct myself, moved on. We all have things to learn. We all have room for growth and reasons to be patient with ourselves. Just saying. All right, so transformation. When you are going through a process of transformation, the benefits are, right, on the other side, deep healing work, or feeling free because you've done deep healing work. And as you go through that, it's really important to be grateful. Be grateful for where you are. Be grateful for how far you've come, because that's going to get you through those hard times. I heard that's what's going to get you through, like, the dark night of the soul. With perfectionism, unbound. A lot of times this is a generational or trait, or this is because of like soul, like your past life, things like that. But it says unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Like, people say, oh, I'm just a perfectionist, and they feel like they have to stay that way just because that's who they've identified, or what they've identified as. But you don't have to be a perfectionist, especially when it causes complications in your life. Like, there's nothing wrong with setting standards. There's nothing wrong with, having expectations. There's nothing wrong with those things. Her meeting needs or meeting other people's needs. Ooh, okay. Sometimes you will go above and beyond for others at your own detriment, out of being that perfectionist. I heard maintaining own image. Sometimes it's really just you don't want someone to see you as mean, or sometimes you don't want someone to see you as selfish. And so because of that, having to be perfect, that people pleasing, right? They kind of go hand in hand. That fear of being wrong, that fear of being rejected, all those things, that can be a soul pattern. And when we talk about that gratitude and deep healing, or that transformation phase, people will be like, oh, you changed, or oh, you being different. It's not that you changed or you're being different. Well, you are changing. You want to change. You want to change deeply. You want to heal. You can't heal if you keep giving all of yourself, especially to people, or even things, or I heard objects, places, things, right? Jobs, careers, whatever. Positivity. So let's see. Where are you being called to journey to? Where are you being called to journey to? Now, I'm going to go through this positivity again because that's really nice. If you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. Please, dear God, let me always feel gratitude for something, even a tiny thing, in even the hardest situations. When you are called to do like some deep diving work, some soul work, when you are called to kind of journey into your own, I heard abyss, but yeah, when you're called to journey into your own abyss, it is very important to find just one thing to be positive about or one thing to be grateful for. If you mess up, if you repeat some mistakes, don't beat up on yourself. You're unlearning toxic behavior. You're learning new patterns. You're replacing these things, right? So celebrate yourself for even showing up for yourself. Celebrate yourself for, putting in the work. I heard sometimes you have to rest. And I think I said this in a video before, like in a channel message, I was like half asleep, but it came up like sometimes you have to rest and sometimes you're being in your own way. So sometimes you don't want to, if you can, try to avoid. When you go through hard times, it's easy to see all the things that are not going your way. It's easy to see all the people that you are losing. It's easy to see all these things, right? And if you get stuck in that for too long, what can happen is, you're draining your own energy. It's not even that you're really tired. It's not even that you're going through like real like depression. You are just draining yourself. And so sometimes you really do have to pick yourself up. So yeah, have a couple hours to a day in bed. But if you notice that you actually woke up with decent energy, and this happened to me today, so I'm gonna share a little bit of my business carefully. I heard. Sometimes you will wake up in a really good mood, and then you will do something to unknowingly do something, and will send you down a spiral. And that actually, again, that happened to me today. Woke up, I was like, oh, the sun is shining. Okay, I'm going back to sleep, right? And then I woke up again, I looked at my phone, and I started thinking, and then, woo, spiral, right? Then I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just go to sleep all day. No, Zenobia, get up, get moving, right? What are you grateful for? You're grateful that you can go do X, Y, Z, right? Where are you trying to expect yourself to be? I'm sorry. Where are you expecting yourself to be perfect instead of showing yourself grace? Where are you expecting yourself to be perfect instead of showing yourself grace? You have to show your own self grace and mercy. Sometimes we beat ourselves up so bad, like by the time somebody else come trying to do it, we don't even notice it. I heard we're numb. All right, so with the Moonology, connecting to gratitude transformation is don't let your past hold you back. That's huge. That's huge. Somebody said, thank God I don't look like where I came from. And that is a common phrase, right? Like, I'm so glad I don't look like where I came from. That in itself is gratitude. Thank you for getting me this far. Thank you, Divine, for getting me this far. So the next one, confidence is your key to success. That's also connected to the new moon in Leo. As we talk about like just the heart, as we talk about the heart, and that being a perfectionist, Leos can kind of they can be a little perfectionisty, right? But when we talk about habits, when we talk about perfectionism, when we talk about change and transformation and healing, it's so important to note, like, I'm not saying obsess over the signs. That's not what I'm saying. But if you have the opportunity to do your birth chart, which you can do yourself for free through it's either Cafe Astrology or Astrology Cafe, but if you type that in Google and you have like your birth certificate, because you'll need your name, obviously your date of birth, your time of birth, and your place of birth for the most accuracy, you will notice, especially when we talk about unbound or releasing soul patterns, right? you will notice some of what you are going through or struggling with at that moment, it was literally written in the stars, like it's in your birth chart. And that doesn't mean that you have to stay there. You have to, you will continue to have that problem. As part of why I mentioned Cafe Astrology, there's a ton of resources out there, but with them, they will not only give you like, they won't just give you the opposite ends of the spectrum, right? They'll also say, well, okay, if you work through these challenges, this is where you can go. And that's how it works, it just in general. But I like their language. I actually used it for a teenage client of mine who was struggling with some things, a therapy client of mine. And so when I went through her birth chart with her, I was like, this is, you have an advantage. Like, you're learning this now. I didn't tell her this, but I was a full grown adult just like a couple years ago when I did my natal chart, my birth chart, and I kind of just cried because it was like, how did you read my whole life? And it talked about how my soul chose the hardest path. And even sometimes when I try really hard not to choose the hardest path, I choose the hardest path. But I really believe part of that, aside from being hard-headed and stubborn, part of that is because through me learning some things the hard way, I'm able to communicate and talk people through stuff where it's a little easier on them, right? Or they at least feel understood. I'm able to be empathetic not only as a true empath or even a human being, but I can literally, because our emotions and our perspective may not be the same, but where people can be kind of cold or dismissive, I can go in the trenches with that person, right? In different ways. So anyway, confidence. You have to release that perfectionism, because that sometimes can destroy your confidence, right? And as you build new habits, as you remind yourself you're doing the best that you can, as you allow yourself to operate out of fluidity instead of being rigid, right? This has to be this, or it's just not right at all, right? Does that even feel good when I say that? Like, how did that feel in your body? Because I sure didn't like that feeling in my chest when I said that, right? Instead of, I didn't get this mark, but this is my goal for next time, or whatever, right? Where somebody said it sounds like settling. But you know how to word it for you in a way that works for you. Next card is expect powerful change. If you are positive, if you go where you feel your soul or your mind or your heart is calling you, you can't go wrong with that. Expect powerful change. It may not happen when you want it to happen. That's unfortunately just how things work sometimes. It definitely may not happen when you want it to happen, but it will always happen right on time. I promise you that. So I love that. So just to go through that again, with being grateful, working on being grateful can help you as you go through your transformation phase, but it can also transform your mood. It can transform your life, right? It can help you when you feel like your past mistakes or your past decisions, or what you didn't have as a kid, you can't reach this certain space as an adult, right? All these limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves, that society tells us, but as you incorporate gratitude into your practice every day, whatever that looks like, it will help you release that perfectionist. It will help you release soul patterns and contracts. It'll help you build confidence, right? It'll help you feel more successful and become more successful, right? Energy, wherever the mind goes, energy flows, right? And with that positivity, no matter what your transformation process looks like, no matter what your journey looks like, if it looks scary, if it looks hard, if it looks impossible, as you incorporate that gratitude, as you release certain unfair or unrealistic standards, as you maintain positivity, you will grow along your journey. You will grow and be on your path, and you will definitely experience healthy, optimistic, positive changes. You got this. I promise you got this. So, because again, for watching the YouTube video, you get the discount code. The code is literally YouTube. The code is YouTube. YOUTUBE. And so the discount is 29% off of readings. 29% off. My birthday is January 29th. And so you get one reading for 29% off. And it's any one, right? So if you choose a 15 minute, I think I have it 15 or 20 minutes or 30 or whatever, whichever one you pick, you still get the code. I want everybody to like enjoy the process. And then for Patreon, if you are interested, I have the different tiers. So there's literally like a $3 a month. So with Patreon, the code is in the thing, but you literally get a discount no matter which one you pick, whether it's the I don't want to say cheapest tier, but whether it's the whatever dollar amount tier you pick, that's the code that you get. So yeah, again, YouTube discount 29% off is YouTube. So if you type in code YouTube, you'll be able to put it in and get your discount. And then your coupon code. And then yeah, just remember to stay grateful. Remember to be positive. Remember, you will be successful. You will be successful. You just have to believe in you. You have to believe in the process. Have a great night.